Employers are having a difficult time finding qualified workers in any number of fields. But there is a state agency working to connect the right candidates with the companies that desperately need them. That agency is the Oklahoma Office of Workforce Development. And this week, Jason Doyle spoke with its executive director.
Thanks, Rich. I've got Dawn Morris, the Executive Director of the Office of Workforce Development with me. And Dawn, you guys are doing a bunch of stuff for September because it is Workforce Development Month. So let's talk a little bit about your programs.
Our job is to actually develop people. And so our average client is with us about 2 years. And we target a wage of $55,000 a year. And so Workforce Development, we like to get the word out that it's a big advantage to people and to businesses. You approach us either online or through the centers. We can do an assessment of what career would best fit you and then provide services, including paying for the training, of course, and then some other supportive services if people qualify.
Your agency has nearly 30 workforce development centers across the state for both employees and employers. What kind of services can they access at those centers?
One of our core beliefs is that helping a person develop to find a job and helping an employer find a person is the same thing, two sides of the same coin. So apprenticeship is a huge advantage to the individual of finding out, is this the right field for me, and getting paid to learn. About 91% of apprentices stay where they're doing their apprenticeship. And so that's the benefit to the employer. We help businesses, rather than having to lay off due to some adaptation, technology upgrade, we can provide funds to help that employer retrain their staff, keep them, and go about the new business. We help people with the resume and that sort of thing, which helps the employer when they're looking at that to see a professional resume and make their decisions.
How do you help develop policies that will help workforce development?
We run the labor market information that informs policy development. And so with our core partners, Career Tech, OESC, and Department of Rehab Services, we make joint policies that our local areas operate under. They're as much guide as they are rules and that sort of thing. And so we have a strong place in the development of policy. We also have legislators on the Governor's Workforce Council. And so it gives us a really good seat at the table to help in that space.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the apprenticeship program. There's a growing demand for trade workers here in Oklahoma, and the office has a program that helps businesses set up their own grow your own worker pipeline.
There you can see how it all works, but we have incentives in place currently for businesses. And so we're offsetting the initial cost of having the apprentice. You can make money by starting a new apprenticeship program. We're starting to see this, especially in the trades. We're seeing it grow. So we've quadrupled the amount of apprentices in the state since the beginning of the pandemic. And so the employer applies for the incentive program. Our staff comes in and helps, does all the paperwork, everything that everyone needs to get it started. They typically recruit the person who's going to be the apprentice because it will be their employee. And so there's some rules for the apprentice that wages have to graduate during their program at least twice. And so it's a guaranteed set raises during the program for the apprentice. And so we expect them to do some didactic learning, but it's mostly hands-on, in the shop, learning. The recent legislation has allowed high school kids that are 16 and over to get credit working in an apprenticeship program.
You have impact partnership grants, and they've recently been awarded. So how are you going to use those entities that won the grants to be able to expand workforce development in Oklahoma?
A lot of the power behind the impact grants, which was $1 million spend from our department, is that it affects key industry sectors in Oklahoma. And so the awards that we just gave out are affecting healthcare, STEM, CDL, logistics, aerospace, which is the first one of these that we've had for that.
All right, very good. Dawn Morris with the Office of Workforce Development. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day for us.
Absolutely.